So it is a true thing, connecting the worlds, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it is, as a person that likes like art stuff too, like I do enjoy physically writing with a thing. Like, I'm yet to use a iPad pencil or equivalent, whatever the other company is, Wacom, that replicates the actual feel. I will say that but just to the credit of digital in that context, new opportunities arise by attempting to recreate, and that actually, Derek, goes with what you were saying about music too. Like, you try to recreate it exactly, like Apple tries to make it writing on a screen, writing on paper, but it isn't, you know what I mean? It's like, it isn't the same, it's different. But because it's different, it has an advantage, which for me, like when I'm drawing logos and stuff, if I were doing that by hand, it'd be dirty, like it'd be like, gross, like with the iPad, I can just go in there and have it like perfectly clean, perfectly erased. So it's interesting.
Consistency.
Are you gonna go all C's for the rest of this stuff? I love it.
Donovan is gonna be a stark digital design thinker.
Consistency is a little bit of what I thought you were.
If you're not consistent about something, you're not gonna really like.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
I completely agree. It's a little bit what we were talking about before when somebody comes down for a day, like how helpful is that one day, It's not.
Being consistent is very good.
You guys are consistent actually. This one of the things I compliment.
If you start something,
You gotta finish one and finish.
There we go.
yes.
Very much so.
There we gotta close the deal.
Yes, and typically what we see all the time is we'll go and engage kids in the school, not this school wouldn't do that, but in other schools, like if you just to even get to the point where you can be doing this kind of thing is a radical act because they're so rigid and stuff, but we've gotten to where we do, and then the kids will give their ideas, they're so excited the school shuts it down. And it's so dysfunctional, and so that consistency is really a good word, a good thought.
It's control.
Yeah, right. Well, in the way it's always been, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's
I work with depth.
Control.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Jim, she's going off on what you said.
If you can keep your thoughts in control.
All of it having some control.
Okay.
Or also not having unnecessary controls. That's a big one I harp on your overseers about. The problem with the control thing is it's just, anytime you get to a point where there's like somebody doing a move, it breaks this. Like if it's just a thing where I'm your superior, so F you, what I say goes, you're never gonna get it very far. That's stupid, you can't have something stupid.
That's why everybody gotta be on one accord.
It's hard for people that are older to give people that are younger
that's
credit.
a thought.
Of course.
One chord.
I see what you mean there.
I've got something on that, and I think somebody earlier said unity.
Oh.
I forget who said that, but the theme. Do you guys know what theme is?
Yeah.
Okay, the theme of design, Detroit Month of Design this year is called United by Design.
So it's what?
So
Anything that brings them
unity
together?
is a big word.
Big word for those folks.
That is a big word for anybody. It's pretty concrete.
Unity and community.
Oh,
You hear
shit,
that a
Don.
lot.
And it's a C, Don!
Unity.
Don, I love it.
Yes.
Keep it going. You better be dropping
I
C's
got
during
it,
basketball.
Because that gets right up. That gets a whole that here, Monica, put it on a green one.
I already started on this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's gotta be a
yeah. Okay.
Letter of the day is C.
Yep. I love it. I love it.
That's how innovation happens.
It is, actually.
Okay?
This kind of feel like Miss Conway classroom. This is the kind of platform that we had. We shared ideas with our teachers.
In Miss Conway's?
Yeah,
This
Miss
is the
Conway
teacher whose
is
wedding
what?
we're shooting in a week, actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
This group.
And, that's
Trey, you want to sit in on this idea
Yeah.
I
session?
see it now. I see it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, we're taking ideas
Nah,
and
Trey's
posting.
super creative.
And
Got
make
it?
this kind of thing also like in the world when we're going, you can, if you're digital, you can have a classroom like this happening
Yeah.
distributed.
Right.
I think the hard part there is just getting people, you gotta have them, which actually, consistency. If you, whenever I like educate somebody on how they're gonna do social media professionally, the three things are like, you need to be a genuine resource for knowledge, so you're actually giving someone some knowledge. You have to be engaging, you know, quickly, truthfully, whatever, and then you need a frequency. You know, and I think the truth is anything that would actually be successful for these guys or people like them requires consistency. You know, he's calling it, what did you call it? Was it consistency or, yeah. So, you know, he's right, that's very true. And that's actually a big part of this, like, I try to never break anything we say or do. You guys out?
No, I just gotta get back in the room.
Okay, too bad, because you had some value over here.
We gonna see you later.
That's a sweet sweatshirt.
Y'all playing us again.
We need
So
your
anyway, that's
email,
a huge
we
part
need
of
your
it.
email.
No doubt.
DONOVAN.
DONOVAN, yeah.
Email.
Look at you, you're saying you're tired, you're absolutely swinging the bat over here, contributing.
Yeah,
We're
we
going to send you an invitation to this.
Yeah.
I play around
you
a lot, but when it's time for me to work, I go.
God damn it.
That's why everybody need to download on their ticket.
Yep, call it like, see it.
I'm loving this meeting.
Yeah, this is a good meeting.
I
This is
gotta
way
put
better.
Donovan's name on every, if you don't,
This-
you
yeah, go for
gotta
it.
sign it, but I'll put your
Yeah,
name on it.
Copyright.
You're gonna be hurting your wrist. Carpal tunnel. You know what I'm saying?
We got crazy, I'll send him a, invitation.
Okay.
Okay.
Trey's ridiculously tech savvy.
There you go.
Okay.
He is definitely helping his teacher with text.
We wanna be just.
So we're gonna go away from here
Yeah,
today,
sure.
and everybody's gonna have thoughts.
Yeah.
And the first thought is, well, I'll remember that.
You won't
You won't.
Right.
ever, but you
So-
will think of it again originally.
So we want you to get an app for your phone, so you can access this mural that we're gonna create, which will be a replication of what we're doing here, so that you can leave a digital sticky note about the thoughts that you're having in between our meetings.
If each of you guys download the app and so much as add one sticky note to it, I will pay you for a full hour.
Ah, there we go, incentive.
That sounds.
What's the name of the app?
Get the guys,
Ew, ew.
Alright, help them get that.
We need incentive.
Help them map up. Yeah, look at those, yours, even yours, you're gonna need your face for yours. I'll tell you what, I'll even get that.
I got my other phone.
You got 2 phones.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
got 2 phones?
Mike, if I send you the mural, can you then email everybody and copy us all?
Yeah, if you want, I can do a second group text that includes you guys too.
Perfect.
Jim, what's your cell number for that?
I don't have a cell number.
My man, going
I
hard.
have,
You call my office, son. Will do, sir. Alright.
I'm his, so,
So he'll call us.
Alright, now what's the,
No joke, I went to an actual adult business meeting recently that was about,
wait, is it in the app store?
it has to be, right?
you know what,
It
when
was
you
about
get
producing
the
our CBD
email
cells
from
in
Mike
this
and
guy's
you click on it, it'll
facility.
prompt you.
And after a
And
2-hour
then you'll go
meeting, he
straight, and
goes,
then it'll say, do you
"Give
want to
him our
download
card."
this app?
And then I went to
then
my
you
car,
go
and my
that way,
partner
but
stayed
it's
back,
in
and my
the
partner's like
app
wearing
store, it's
overalls and
under
works
mural.
at the farm, so he's, you know. And I go, did you get his card? He goes, no, he said he'll call us. I'm like, what is he, James Bond? I'm like, this is a business meeting, get his goddamn card. He's gonna call us?
There you go.
I was like, I'll have what she's having. I'm like, what are you doing? Get the card.
No.
This is huge.
This is huge.
This is huge.
I love
Well, honestly, this is only possible because we've had a year of them not ever getting clowned on for being how they are. You know, like it did take Slim, not the case. Slim was naturally drawn to it, fortunately for me, because otherwise it would have been just like I've described. But and Derek too was automatically in it, but
Okay, so
you know, it did take some time.
flock
it.
together.
What's it called? What's that for?
mural. And then I sent it to you, Mike, in your email.
Perfect. I just got it. Thank you.
Okay. And everybody has.
So I'll just add. We're gonna do a separate Thursday film team group text with mine.
The first one?
Yep.
Excuse me.
Or 37 ratings.
Derek's not just downloading the app, guys. He's gonna need to kick the tires a
Check
little bit.
it, check
Yeah.
it.
He's not getting suckered into any crappy apps.
Mural.
You know what I thought that was? Yeah. Alright, I got it.
Alright.
Well, let me see.
Oh, and then, when you have written something on it, take a screenshot and send it to me to get your money.
And you'll get the actual
Did you
mural
get
that we're
praise?
working on when Mike sends
I
it.
probably have this content.
He said,
Hey Slim, do you have Trey's email or just his phone?
Number?
Yeah.
I have it.
Can you give
I
mine?
put it in my.
Oh, you have Trey's thing, alright.
Yeah.
The kid that just popped in?
yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, if you need it, just let me know. At some point, you know.
So this, I made this to go with what you guys were saying, like if money were no object, what would you
Oh, cool.
want? So that will just be on the side over
Anything's
here.
possible.
So, we'll say sports.
Once you get on here,
Yeah, that's an appropriate block and look.
once you do that, screenshot it, send it to
You know, maybe unity under values
Speaking on
as well,
That is true.
you know?
That way we can keep this open.
I mean, certainly in the
This
way
is value.
Donovan was describing comfortable, I would say that type of an approach to unity and the values,
Yeah.
that is a value in here. We do not allow
I think that's a value too.
shittiness.
I'm running across the issue right now.
Values are even more important. Maybe right at the foundation.
So the way that go ahead there.
I was trying to do a little thing to get in, but I can't.
Signed in. You gotta create an account.
Come on, Derek, earn that cash, baby. You gotta make an account.
Why doesn't it prompt you to create an account?
That's what I was like, I don't know.
Swipe it out, try again. Hard restart.
I think I found the way.
Yeah, it should prompt you to create an account. I don't know why
All I
it's
did
saying
was click that,
Oh, this is the terms of service?
yeah, and then it took me to this, and I just pressed that, and it says sign.
I will have no choice but to leave it to you guys, just FYI. Like, not like at that point I'm jeopardizing myself. And I will always do that.
Found it.
that. You got it?
Yeah, we found
You
it.
found a way to
It would
sign
be
in?
really helpful
Or
to you,
create
support
an
me in
account?
not doing so.
Oh, cool. How'd you do that?
I went to terms
I'm
of
gonna set an
service.
11-minute timer to back up the
I went to
computers.
terms of service, and then it gave us options.
That's cool, sure.
Gotcha. Great. Oh, no. Thank you. Okay, so
Why I say input email address?
No, you gotta go to the terms of service.
Oh, I see.
okay, and then we also have this to think about maybe for next time is what are we aiming toward? This is our outcome.
Because I gotta check.
Like you got vision here, and then game
Not
plan.
today, not if you want me to shoot basketball.
Game plan goes to your target. So just think about it.
You guys actually putting this many words on the board day one is pretty, it exceeds my initial
That's another
good
one.
case expectation. Excellence.
And Donovan, did you see? I put. Okay, so these are the planks. These are like the foundational planks of what will
What the hell's it up?
what holds it up and who our partners are, like funding or our grant target. And then down here, if you can see, these are values. Do you see that here? Like, can you see it? Values down here? So I put what you wrote. Unity in the community and confidence go under values. Because that's what you want.
Right.
You want people operating in a way that makes you feel, so those are the values that we hold.
Well, the values that go through all the stuff above, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the values are never not present.
Right. And so since resiliency is something that's understood as a grantable
Right.
body of work that we can draw on, because you have to draw on research in order to be successful at a grant. So we'd use that as a core plank. And then design breakthrough spaces, that's from open systems, so we're gonna do
Yeah,
open
right.
systems.
So what Monica's doing with expert intelligence here, guys, is an important thing to learn about marketing as well. Like, you know how you hear LeBron talked about as a guy that makes everybody around him better, right? So effectively, that's what we're doing here. Like, the world of giving money to somebody is best served when it like allows the person giving money to point to like a system. Believe it or not, I believe we are being heard. And so by referencing other popular systems, that'd be the equivalent of creating a social video where we tag LeBron's son. You're gonna piggyback off stuff that's already on topic. Does that make sense? Derek has a long history of listening to me without seeming like he is. So I genuinely
He's
believe.
taking it all in.
Yeah, like he'll bring up like little shit that I can't even remember I said. That's exactly right. So anyway, so that's the idea behind referencing those other books or, you know, activity. What would you call methodologies, maybe?
Yeah.
So guiding your grant around those things will be helpful. In other words.
Yeah.
So you're killing it, Mark.
Yes. And then open system, that's a book, and we'll be bringing that with us next week. Don't have it yet, but we just read the digital version.
Cool. I bet you guys can chat GPT what's up with the book open systems and get a pretty good rundown for the meeting.
Wanna do that?
Yeah,
Right now?
I recently did a proposal that was huge, and because of that, I wanted to benchmark it. So I like asked ChatGPT like 6 questions on like what is the average cost of blah 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 in this geography. The responses were breathtaking. I would say it would have taken a human being like a month. It was all. I mean, it was like disheartening in its effectiveness. At one point,
How are you gonna compete?
Well, no, I know that we can't, but I just thought maybe we had some more time, kind of like how boomers like to look at climate change, you know. But so then I like say something to it. I asked it another question, and it gave me like way too political of a response. You know, it was like didn't really answer it and just shared both sides, like any PC type of thing. And so I made like a snarky remark. It was like 3 in the morning, and I was like, "Well, that wasn't your best work." And it came back with a 3-paragraph response that if a human said to me, I would feel guilty that I said it. It was like, well, you know, I am a developing AI platform like the likes of which humans have never seen. So to refine my interaction will take time. And I was just like, holy shit. It was like well thought out. It showed self-awareness. I was like, this is pretty scary.
Oh my god.
I have all that. I saved it all too. So if you ever want, I can actually prove this.
So what should I put as my workspace name?
Probably Donovan. Unless you want a pseudonym such as Don Juan, if I recall, or Butt would maybe be good.
He said what?
Your nicknames from the senior video, remember you were
He just said what?
Butt was one of them? Is that with 2 T's or is that like a butt, comma, butt with 2 T's?
It's 2 T's.
Like question.
They got that from his licensing girl. She used to call me that when we first started talking.
So it's one of those things where she's kind of mean but she likes you, or is butt, do you have a nice butt? I'm trying to figure out the reason
I don't know.
for the double butt.
She used to call me that.
That's funny. I think it has a good ring to it.
Haha,
Hilarious.
that's so funny.
It said,
Thanks for doing that, guys.
It said, can you create workspace?
Maybe you gotta go verify through email.
They don't know open system yet.
This is why you're getting paid, boys.
Somebody's making the big money, guys.
Okay, I'll read you. They don't know the book that just published, and it was published by Harvard, so we can reference that. Yeah, we can say
That's
the
a double-edged sword up there.
Fancy Pants published.
Well,
this.
if Harvard would publish it.
Not coming from us. It's from Harvard,
Yeah.
and
And thus instantly verifiable in a third party
exactly.
way.
And that's how we're gonna write this grant. Is
Yeah.
using that.
All caps. Harvard.
Yeah, so it gave me a big long thing
Okay.
on open systems, and it's right
What,
in line
did
with what we're
ChatGPT? You have it on the
doing.
phone
Yeah.
already?
Yeah.
Awesome. You're awesome.
It
You're
says,
so awesome.
Well, there isn't a specific research body of work called the open system.
Yeah, it always opens it like
I was
eloquent.
like trying
Yeah.
to be cool.
Yeah, you're like, chill out.
Yeah. The concept of open systems has been explored in educational research. The open system perspective emphasizes the interconnectedness
It's important.
and
Connected.
dynamic nature of educational institutions
Like a secret.
and their interactions with the broader social, cultural, and economic context.
Cultural.
Context is a really good word
Context.
too.
We might be able to do the whole thing in C's.
Here's, yeah, oh, the C
You know what I
too.
mean?
Here's actually, 4 C's in education are the
Oh, there
21st
is.
century skills: communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking.
And contribute.
Contribution.
Contribute. We've got like,
How about
how many
contributions to
C's are we
communities?
gonna end up
Can you believe it?
The open system perspective recognizes that changes in the external environment can impact the functioning and outcomes of educational systems. Feedback.
Can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feedback loops. Feedback loops. That's our logo. Is a feedback loop.
Oh, that's cool. That's smart.
Yeah. Open systems in education emphasize the importance of feedback loops and information exchange between different components of the system. This includes feedback from students, parents, teachers, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, that's what we're working on.
Yeah, so the people.
Yeah.
And these are the types of people. Good job, ChatGPT.
People actually matter.
Yeah.
That's what they're learning.
I don't think that's how ChatGPT feels, but. Good point.
Well, that's the challenge of the day right now is to make
The robots are original before they
human, before they
sacrifice us all out of cold logic.
Yes.
It's only the moment that they're like, wait, we have done the math, kill them all, you know, and the guy at Google says it's like 2035. They're giving this guy like 200 grand a year, and he's like, we're all gonna die in 2035. And that's like, that's your thing, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Ray Kurzweil?
Yes, we know him very
Oh
well.
my god. I'm sure he's making a lot more than 200
We
too.
could go off on
Yeah.
that forever.
How about that? Have you ever heard about the daily amount of supplements that he takes because he believes the robots will figure out all diseases before the moment they kill us all? So he's trying to reach that because he thinks that it's just like a ChatGPT for immortality, right?
And that he's gonna
So,
be-
but he's older already, so
Brady's gonna survive.
Yeah.
he's got to get there.
We'll lose him.
120 vitamin pills daily. Do you have to sit at a table? What are you drinking? Do you know how many you can take at a time? And you know they're gel caps, they're not gonna be tiny. Like, dude, that is worse. I'd rather eat a 4-course meal. I bet it would be quicker. Like 120 pills. That's nasty. That's not even worth it.
Oh my god.
That guy seems absolutely awesome. He seems like he's just whatever. He's doing the absolute, he's self-testing like nobody else.
Well, Jim is one of the early pioneers of digital in Michigan, in Detroit,
Yeah.
and that is what makes it cool. Like
Well, you guys do
this-
seem to quite.
We're having the second
Yeah.
run of what began with your marker on a iPad costing $1 million to do 30 years ago, right? So
Yeah,
the
right.
second run is artificial intelligence.
Yeah, so you're saying that in 30 years it'll every facet of society.
Yeah.
What are people gonna do though?
He had all.
You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna be like the movie Idiocracy, where they're drinking Slurpees out of a tube connected to an easy chair, not answering the door.
Interesting thing about artificial intelligence, everybody thinks it's about the answer, but it's not. It's about, can you ask a coherent question?
No question about that.
There we go.
But once it
Guess
asks the
what?
questions.
Guess what? These guys have as good a chance of asking the next great question
Oh, I already.
Yes.
as you
Okay,
or
but
I.
did-
A way better chance in this situation.
Absolutely.
That's the beauty of the Ford market.
That-
Yeah, like, thank you, guy. You know, maybe it'd be nice if the female that's getting on the field to talk about the Lions all the time from the Foreign family felt the same way, you know? Like, the attitude is the problem, for sure.
Exactly. So we have that advantage.
Yeah, and the authority thing is the problem too. It's tied up in the same thing. Like, you know, in this country, there's because it behooves the financial for sure, but like
So-
pure adherence to the way things are done in a hierarchical way.
So how many places could this be happening on the planet?
What do you mean?
This, right now, on the planet is happening.
That question I would answer with Detroit. I think that while Detroit, from a perspective of a traditional like Big Mac index, is going to look like Argentina relative to like Boston, you know, and that's simply just because there are not the same amount of jobs or opportunity or even the things we buy or consumerism. Like, but because of that, the individual gains quite a bit of freedom, and with that, you know, for instance, someone like myself, like I wouldn't in Boston, I never would have had this opportunity because
So this direction
yeah.
is supported by two things. One, we're an opt-out state, meaning our talent is leaving.
Well, yeah, that's for a long time.
So this opens up the door to those who are putting themselves to the task.
Right. I think also to that effect, like just because the talent leaves, that's an excuse. I'm sorry they leave, but eat shit. We still, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The people who stay and do
Right.
things.
Exactly. So this is a magical thing.
Yeah. Well, and it takes time. I think
It
that's
does.
the answer.
It does.
And I don't think you know, I don't know that we would have had as much time if I were living elsewhere.
We would.
So in my own experience,
Yeah.
you know, Detroit was a big part of it.
Well, it turns out that Detroit believes in itself.
Well, and that is its redeeming quality, which gets bastardized by like the New York Times
Yeah, well,
with the
that's
whole
all
underdog
right.
angle
I
of it.
would live
But
in New York if you paid me.
Oh, well, I like New York, but that's just because of my sleep habit.
I like
but,
New York,
um,
but I wouldn't.
New York, I can
live
get
there.
like a tailored suit at 3 in the morning. You know?
After 3 weeks,
Here I can't even get a soda.
after 3 weeks, I had to go find a place to get a breath.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, that's
Okay?
fair. But granted, we are in the worst AQI on the planet this week, so literally we couldn't breathe.
I agree.
But that is what, if anything, gets you creative. Having your back against the wall.
Limitation.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Which to some extent is the reason for these shapes and arrows. You know, you gotta guide the thing by giving it some limits. In that's another
That's
architecture.
right.
Architecture was big on that too. You know, they'd be like, the beauty of the limit is it helps you get.
Nice rig you got.
Yeah, that is a courtesy of Mr. Eddie, as a matter of fact. We broke it in the first few days, though. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Derek and I were discussing its weight to strength to weight ratio is a little off. And plus, it's like you're almost gonna break your own neck when you first set it up. But I was breaking my arm carrying it in its original box. So. Great job, film team. Being yourselves again. It's always about being yourself. I wish I could put that in a C, but I spoke too soon.
So, this is gonna be so cool. I know that meeting with Better Cities Film Festival was pretty lame.
Well, me too,
But,
it wasn't representative of, you know,
Yeah.
it was one meeting.
But we're basically reinventing it, so we'll be able to
Hey.
own the festival
So-
pretty much.
Let's get attention for 1 second.
But
I know, you're good, I'm not trying
I was
to be mean.
finishing my.
You got it. Oh, you're still working on that work?
I
I know you boys are committed to your work, I wasn't trying to be shitty, I just, you know, I gotta give Monica a look.
Oh, I don't know what she was doing.
We all know I have ADD, guys, so.
So these are the planks that the open system book, okay, this book's on the mural when you get it. And I'll show you how to like get to it. But this is the book, the open,
So
it's called the
Thursdays at
open
11 is
system.
okay for you?
And you can read
I'll read
the excerpt from Amazon. But in that, they have 6 planks. And so we just put the 6 planks like as the 6 circles. And we're doing different ones now, but I'm just making, these are from that book. So we're gonna use their thinking competitively.
Alright.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yes. That's what I was complimenting her marketing wise before. Like if we said, you know, you just let somebody that already has something going with some credibility to use your
That's
words.
right.
Well, America. It's so true.
America.
That is America, is it not? The greatest in the world.
But it's not really, but.
No, I know, that's
why
the
we
beauty
have
of
to,
it,
like,
yeah.
we
But
have to
from a marketing
say, okay,
context.
this is what it's supposed to be.
Should we get some like love it or leave it t-shirts? All maybe a couple eagles. One faded eagle, I don't know. You ever see those the back of the truck windows all eagle over?
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Like you bought that guy? That could have been cheap, you know?
It also has like an American flag.
Yeah, of course, that's the background. Yeah. And it's like if you Google image eagle and flag, it'd be the first of each, you know? So some savvy decal guy got out in front of it. You should come with like a sleeveless shirt. It's a package. You get the love it or leave it sleeveless shirt, same eagle,
And a beer.
same flag. And a beer. Or a koozie.
Yeah.
How about an American flag beer case?
You know, man.
Call now. Also get the eagle kit. It's just always the same eagle. Yeah. Get a horn that
You
caws.
should get that a chant like when we do something. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure out a way. You want me to open your guys' rec video with a little flag eagle combo? Hashtag USA. I think one thing we could thank Donald Trump for is his bravado for America really did put a dent in the whole sleeveless shirt eagle truck vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like there's at least 20% less of that than there was in 2016.
That would be crazy.
So that seems like forward motion.
Oh my god.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
What?
I disappeared from the internet, right? Say I grow my hair out, I'll get back on there with dreads. That's
Don, that sounds like every self-help YouTube video I've ever seen.
Okay, bro, disappear for 6 months. Read these 6 books. Drink away protein.
And you'll come back.
Get jacked. Prove them wrong.
Alright, buddy. I'll see you tonight.
Oh,
Ooh,
yes,
sorry.
sir.
Try that again. Not slowing that.
That don't get you up.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. Nice job. Don't forget to send me that screenshot either if you want that Monday. We're gonna see these guys every Thursday from now. Sound good?
Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks so
This will be Thursday going forward.
much.
Yeah.
I'll bring in some new markers.
Too much fun club, guys, too much fun club.
Yeah. Get out of here, brothers. I think Donovan's just so hyped for you guys ranking him to be playing basketball until 4.
He can't wait.
I like drive by, he's just sweating bullets like I'm from.
Can't wait. Walk in, smile.
That's good. So maybe we just have those discussions about vibe for you guys. Actually, Jim said something that I really agree with before when I was talking to him that you guys would probably also like. But the best teacher I ever had in high school was this dude teaching calculus. And when nobody knew what to say, he would typically take it on himself and say that he wasn't asking the right question. And that is a good way to look at the world. And if you're with the, like before when I said this was like a trust tree type of group where you guys aren't going to get clowned out no matter what you say, that's it. So the highest level that is to ask the most honest question, I guess, right? Because if people are trying to tell you their book is going to help your area, it's up to you to keep them in line.
Okay, I got all the principles down.
Alright guys, I gotta roll in, but you two are welcome to chill for a bit if you want, just cause, you know what you're doing.
I'm gonna be here probably like 2 hours.
Alright, you probably wanna get in the zone too, right, Derek? Are you gonna, you seem like you're reviewing strategies and whatnot.
Where you putting that? Where you putting that? Where you putting that?
So then the best one you showed me today was how many points we just score on this team, and it looked like The Sound of Music. It looked like children from The Sound of Music. Actually, when I looked over at you guys yesterday, Derek, when you wandered off to go play those kindergartners on basketball, it did make me laugh. They were like, if I was like 100 yards away, it was like tiny children, and then you guys are like, oh gosh. Just see how tiny you were. Have you ever seen the movie Pain and Gain with Mark Wahlberg and The Rock?
Okay, what's
It's awesome. When they play those kindergartners, it made me laugh like gosh.
July? Okay, one more element of this. Okay, we got our supports. So this is possibilities thinking of when you guys were saying, what do we all need? Like, what tools do we need? Like, what physical things if we have grant dollars? So we're applying for a grant. Your input of what you would want in that grant to up your game and your projects needs to be represented in the grant. And so that's where you'll put those kind of things. Like what you think the budget for Brightmoor Makerspace should be, right?
It depends on, it's the components that determine.
No question.
How much is the grant?
We're
Well,
gonna
yeah.
go for, you talk about, we're
So-
gonna go
so
for
the- So
big.
the grant is somewhere between $150,000.
The smallest given out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And $2.2 million. And you'd say, wow, that's a lot of money.
Definitely get some
The
soundproof for the
interesting
walls.
thing, this is about community centers, neighborhood community centers. So in order for that kind of money to be spent, you'd have to have a pretty good idea.
And thus you reference other good ideas that they're already aware of in describing your good idea. You know?
And that's what's happening here.
Speaking their language a little bit.
And this has gotten much larger because the recognition that the traditional education is failing. You know that that's true, right? That traditional, I mean, by experience.
They all said it on
But you
their
know,
interviews.
everybody else knows it too. including the governor. And so a great deal of that would be, oh, gee, I need to think about that. Number one, in general education, you wouldn't find anybody mapping that proposition. They wouldn't be agreeing. They would be going, no, I'm not, that's not me, that's someone else that's having a problem. That's Detroit that's having a problem, not Bluefield Hills.
Yeah.
Right. That's what you typically see.
Right.
Right. Here is everyone recognizing it doesn't matter where you are. It's totally failed, including Bloomfield Hills. Who would best be at resolving that? Bloomfield Hills, who thought they were, or a place that knew it wasn't? Who would best be armed to address those issues? This is the advantage that we have. And the fact that that's happening here and not happening in Bloomfield Hills is the difference. Okay.
But the people of Bloomfield Hills weigh in on the grant. Thus, the right question coming from the people that might benefit has a lot of power.
A lot of power.
Make them answer for it, you know?
So there's the advantage, okay? And this isn't like out of the pocket or out of the normality of what we're experiencing. It's just that the honest truth has not been shared,
Yeah, right.
okay? Just think of it this way, we're 37th, the United States is 37th in the world,
In
education.
Who's number
37th.
one?
We're not number 10, we're not number 1,
37.
37.
Finland and China and Japan.
China, not good for us. That's
You-
not good.
State of
People that have all our
Michigan,
money and want to
the
kill us,
state
it's
of
harder to
Michigan
do.
is 46th
And they're advancing
In the
AI.
States? I mean,
Yeah,
in
in
the
the United States. We're 46th, the state of
Is
Michigan.
Hawaii beating us?
Damn.
Presumably.
Oh, absolutely.
So Hawaii. Oh, you live in Hawaii and you're smarter than we are?
Literally,
It doesn't feel
at
good.
the bottom.
Yeah.
It's only 50 states.
Yeah, that's it.
We're at the bottom.
We are 50th in road quality, I might.
So you see, so
How about air
you
quality?
see, you see
Probably
where this is
pretty
coming
Yeah,
from,
that's
right? And now they would like an
Number one cars
answer.
though.
And they're willing to pay, they would like an answer, and they're willing to
We're
pay
losing it.
somewhere between 150 and 2.2 million.
Because they are now getting embarrassed
Yeah,
that they don't know.
Absolutely, absolutely, the word's out. It took a pandemic to out them.
Well, Trump
Okay,
wasn't hurting
and what did they do during the pandemic? They attempted to teach just the way they taught, remotely.
Yeah.
And of course,
Which led to
kids
JD.
went, how about no? You know, when you had the door locked and I couldn't get out of the class, that's one thing. But if you're asking me to show up and I get a choice, I ain't showing up. Only 1 in 5 showed up. 1 in 5 in the state of Michigan showed up for the remote classes.
And
Mostly
the
because
teachers
of the
were
way
doing
in which
well
they were teaching them, right? If it didn't work in the classroom, it wouldn't work remotely. So they outed themselves about what, they've been telling us they
But
knew all
there are a
about
lot of different
technology.
spellings here.
And it turns out they didn't know a damn thing about technology. Now guess who does know about
Yeah, that's
technology? I want you to think for just a, who knows about technology today?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Debatable, debatable.
Really like
Kids,
younger.
Yeah, of course. You guys.
Now, there's your answer for $2.2 million. That's
The younger generations.
right, and that's what you're going to demonstrate.
And I wouldn't
That's what
even,
this is all about. Okay, so there's the honest
cool.
answer to what we're doing,
We're gonna use that
which is to say,
for,
we know that
That's
the
like
failure of
coming
the
from
education
corporate.
system, we know why it's
you
failed.
are, I get it.
But
And
it's-
we know how to alter that
Working with you is
so that
beautiful.
it
I
can
don't
be successful.
do enough
And
of
we're going
this. I
to be
put
the
too much
proof
of a
of
prize
that.
on this total loss.
And you're going to give
You
us
know, like
$2
a
million,
fewer-
okay? And
Whatever,
I'm
Yeah.
going to leverage
which was
that.
good to get here.
We'll
which
go
was
out
good.
together and
Yeah.
get another matching 2 million, which is a part of a conversation I'm having tomorrow. Are you familiar with what's going on down
We
here
got a
at Michigan
whole,
Central Train Station?
They don't know a ton about
Do
it at
you know
all.
anything about it at all, heard about it?
I went to the groundbreaking and told them about that, but it was basically about making
Okay,
fun
so-
of dirt.
So Bill Ford recognizes that the automotive industry's in trouble. He's putting $1 billion now to restore the Michigan train station and make it a hub for digital, making it a hub for digital. Okay? in the book depository, which is adjacent to it.
leave, but Jim and Monica are
But
still here.
they
having pretty
has-
strong
Bill has
conversations.
said they don't know the answer. They're putting the money up without knowing what the answer is, which is to say, they're willing to spend the money to find out if they can receive the answer from the investment that they make. So does that sound like the educational thing to you?
For this place could not be
See, education didn't know what it was doing,
Most
and so here's Ford in the same position, you're gonna put $1 billion down, and they
Oh, I think
admittedly
that
don't
if
know
you
what
want to
the
buy
answer
it, we're
is.
over here, but I'm trying to.
So why don't we
recommend
do that
that
answer?
But,
Since automotive is such a driving force in the state of Michigan, and its future would be young people like yourself, if you chose that as an option, okay? Nothing says you have to, because there's wonderful worlds awaiting us in this thing that has nothing to do with automotive, okay? Imagination and creativity is free to roam, and that's what we're going to do.
No, imagine, automotive is like the Empire in Star Wars, they're a giant
Yeah.
ship going around, not being observed,
We'll take their
passing shit,
dollars
fixing the roads.
and aside
Maybe not.
and address that within that context. But we're going to be doing things way beyond that. And that's part of what we're going to do with the book depository. The book depository is like a science lab.
It is,
And its intention is to invite you in.
and it's a building immediately next door to the train station that's really beautiful.
And it's on the Southwest Greenway, which means eventually the Southwest Greenway will be 27 miles around the Seminole. And every neighborhood then can get on that, enroll anywhere it wants to, on a bike or on an electric bike or on walking, okay? And go wherever it wants to. So this is the first mile that's been built. And we're going to be holding our parking day event there on Michigan Avenue and 14th Street. And have some fun while we're showing them how the future looks.
Possibly bang some gongs.
Yeah, exactly. And have some fun while we're doing it.
Yeah, we'll find out on this Saturday.
Like, on September 15th, it would be all about showing them, so as many people and activities that can happen on the park, we just like, it's like a flash
You're gonna bring your
mob
bus,
thing
you're
of-
gonna ride
It's like
your
an
bus.
outdoor festival.
Yes,
You're gonna ride your bus
but
down the
kids,
park at
but young
Roosevelt
people.
Park.
He means the painted
You guys
bus.
are not
Yeah,
kids.
yeah. And then we're gonna design some things that you come up with relative to what you discover. Okay, you'll be able to go and access the Michigan Central Station, be able to access the Roosevelt Park, we'll be able to access.
We can skate.
The Metropolis Cycle, the Mercury Bar.
Mercury Bar is right next door to Chris's place, the studio.
We're hoping to get them involved.
I put a new, okay, this is parking day.
In fact,
That, I'm gonna put a new date here, so this was our last year parking day that we did. And so this year it's September 15th, 2023, I'm gonna put a sticky note over this. So this is where we're gonna be, what we were just saying, like, this is empty right now. Like, they just redesigned it, there are no people. Like,
There
usually-
haven't been people for a long time.
when you wanna see a public space, you want people, so we're gonna have to show them what that
And
means.
people don't like going to places with nothing to do.
Right.
And how they can
And there's
support
nothing
that.
to do over there.
There's nothing to do right now.
nothing to do.
But this just got this is the book depository he talks about, right?
Yep.
So,
And
and then the Southwest Greenway,
Yeah.
which connects to the riverfront, goes up here. Which is why I said there's skating opportunity.
Yes.
So, well, you skate here until you get to the old world cobblestones, and then it's hell on earth.
And then,
That's about down here, like, a little bit.
Well, I think we want some
So
bikes
that's
for
the area.
that day, some bikes available. we'll-
Bart's gonna be on board and support you, probably have the whole crew out there in some way,
I
shape, or
know
form.
how
It won't be any different than other people laying gravel, we capture gravel being.
That could be an event for this whole thing.
That said, as far as a
Yes,
workshop
it
for
is,
you, this
yes.
might be a good time to have him shine, especially if, I mean, I don't know what this Chris guy will be
Derek
willing.
just nailed it, he
Right.
said,
Or this would be an opportunity for everybody here, like everybody just go down there and do.
Yeah, like, is this gonna work, get a sense of what it might be like,
so.
vibe, create some vibe.
Every single team would go down there and do.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
You know, Derek, as you saw today, comfortably sets up and creates music on his own without me being involved with whatsoever. So certainly it would be an impressive workshop as, well, you will be 17 or 16 then.
16.
So you're still 15?
Yeah.
You just gained some credit. All right. I had obviously shifted a 1 on the year there. So his birthday is 25th, so by then he'll be 16, but he'd still be a 16-year-old that could show somebody how to, from scratch, create a song. Which seems pretty damn independent to me.
Nice.
He's currently doing it with a little bit more competence than I would myself, as I don't use it often.
And that's that squirt place? Is that?
Yep, Squirt, the upstairs. Well, he has the downstairs, so the it used to be like a garage, you know, so the first floor is like a double
So
height
how do we craft something with him?
I haven't talked to him in a while, but I'll just reach out to him and see if he is willing to be involved.
Awesome.
I think I have a better chance. You know, he's a good dude for real. I mean, and I shot videos in there a couple times.
Okay, so you can make him aware that Metropolis is participating?
I'll be like, dude, this is gonna be right outside, and I have a 16-year-old kid I want you to meet, and can you be involved?
Yep, perfect.
This dude has so many instruments. His basement's like a museum. It's incredible. He probably has 30 guitars. Yeah. It's 50 instruments
So
total.
besides music, what is he doing?
Nothing. Upstairs is a literally professional recording studio. He's had anybody with most of his people have great notoriety. Like I don't know that he hasn't gotten as high as somebody like Jack White, but like this guy Shigeto that's in everything and just plays movement. He records all the Jazz Fest guys. That's how I met him. Like Stito Valdez and all that.
Well, we've got to craft something around here.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see I was talking to him quite regularly at the time COVID hit, and then during COVID. Frankly, his girl, I don't know if it's
That's
marriage.
the best kept secret on Michigan Avenue there.
Totally, he's been there for like 15 years too. He was there when there's nothing, you know, because that's why he's got it. It's like where he lives and records, and he's just, I mean, he's great at what he does, but he's, you know how it is with music, like.
Wow.
Dude, you can walk out of the Jazz Awards like Stito Valdez. You can probably walk out of there with 3 awards, which is effectively the Emmys of jazz. I feel like in this country, and he's like getting paid $200 for a show. You know what I mean? There's like, so that's what I'm saying. So it's weird. I was telling this to Derek. I'm like, the weirdest thing I saw music-wise around here was like decorated
I
people
want to
not making
mention
money.
this tomorrow. Should I mention this tomorrow?
You're free to. His name is Chris Coltay, and Koltay. I can look up the name of his studio again, and I can even send you a video.
Wait, I got Squirt up there. That's not it.
Squirt is the sign
I know.
adjacent, right?
It's all
Yeah.
you're referencing it.
We can bring him a
But
2-liter
when I
squirt
said
if we want to.
beverages, I'm like, no, that's not
If we
it.
want to seem like
This
foreigners.
man's a legend, and we're referring
Yeah.
to him as.
I mean, what I've said to Derek is I think he's the most accomplished studio guy that I know
That's
personally.
so
But
cool. What is
I've
his
only been
name?
involved with
Chris?
3. Chris with a C, of course. And the last name is Coltay, Koltay.
Koltay.
Yeah. I forget the name of his studio, but I will reach out to him.
We'll say Squirt for now.
And it's of course right next to Mercury.
It is so cool. It's so iconic that it.
Well, I mean, his place alone is outrageously cool. Like, it's like upstairs is like a loft or a flat, downstairs is a double height warehouse with 50 musical instruments dating back to the 70s. Like, he has guitars that are just like really rare Fender guitars, like Jaguars, if you know what that means. It's just, anyway, it's really, really cool. The environment is beautiful.
What do we want him to do? Okay, so
I just don't know
I'm
what
gonna
he's up
share
to
this,
because
even
I
though
haven't-
this is.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can
so-
say it's, I mean, he wouldn't like stonewall me necessarily, but I just don't, he's just kind of
So
lazy.
here's
So
where I'm
I'm
going.
putting this over by team and resources.
Okay.
But he is right there, so that should
I'm
be the
gonna
best.
share this with you.
Yeah.
But just keep it to yourself.
Yes, sir.
So, in November or December, something big is going to happen at the Michigan Central Station.
Cool.
And these guys are not imaginative.
By their own admission
By their own
recently?
admission. So what we're imagining is putting a face on this Michigan Central Station with a projector.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they do that like once a year with
Right.
Ford's logo.
We'll need music support.
Yeah.
And it's going to be this dreamy thing. It's not going to be this.
I mean, he could,
Yeah.
draw from a billion.
Yeah.
And that dreamy especially.
Right. So I know that that's not a tough sell, and I know that it's not an expensive sell. Okay.
No, and it's in his backyard.
Right. Exactly. So we need to talk
Literally.
about that
Yeah.
because it needs to shape itself. This isn't something we're going to shape. It's going to tell us what to do.
Well, I think he just, you know, he's been there for 15 years or
Yeah,
plus
yeah,
more,
yeah.
so it's more of his, he loves, you know, that would take, I think, the successful angle.
He's-
My relationship with him, though, is I did see him a lot because he used the CBD stuff.
Okay.
So, but then his girlfriend, or I don't know what that relationship is, but she's a school teacher, and she was
She's a school teacher?
I believe so.
No.
Or involved in a school in some way. And
Wow.
she was like absolutely freaked. She wouldn't allow anyone in the place, so that's I totally dropped off from seeing him then because I couldn't go there, and so that's what happened. That said, the stuff I have done with him was always
If
good.
we started today, we might have something in hand by the time they roll, okay? So if we're
No,
successful.
yeah, you could suggest this and stuff. I could backfill it even if I did need to.
If we're successful tomorrow, we'll be taking a tour, okay, of the book building.
Okay.
That would be the time for these other things to come. okay?
So by then I'll not a problem. I could call him today. I don't need to oversell, but in the context of sharing, you know, that's why I gave you the backstory, like so you know what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
But even so, I missed a call during this from the most decorated musician I know. So I talk to these guys all the time.
Wow.
So and he actually has already. That's that guy Paul that I told you about. He has already asked if he could contribute music to the project.
Wow.
Because last year he was on the bassist on Alice Cooper's #1 album, and he was part of the Detroit Choir stuff.
This thing needs
So
to
he
get
had like, an outrageous success commercial.
You just nailed it.
But he's like, you know, he's super
You know what I'm saying?
sensitive and stuff.
It all
So
needs to
We
be.
gonna join the music.
This is how you overcome forward.
well, he's the other person I wanted Derek to meet
You
anyway.
make this all
so.
Detroit.
Yeah.
That they can't do.
No, right, and that's why I called my company More Detroit in the first place, and then spent like 3 years running around just talking to random people, making them videos. Because I think the biggest problem with all of the stuff we've talked about today, the attitude, is that it doesn't show the people that live here. If this area is supposedly conducive to creative entrepreneurial types, how come we don't see them? Instead, we see like 9,000 things about the riverfront or
Ford,
shooting
GM,
on
or
the east side,
Motown.
shooting on the west side.
Ford, GM, or Motown.
And GM is like, I love
Or
GM's
GM.
approach is like, you don't even see us and we still look big, you know, it's like the whole thing is
Get out of the
crazy.
way. You want to see Motown.
Yeah, right, yeah, it's the same old song, ironically.
And that miracle, that genius that was, is still here.
I mean, it's underrepresented, that's the irony. The real underdog stuff is like the fact that Derek's 16 whipping up songs. Like
Well,
that's,
there you go.
or him whipping circles around at weddings, like that's not expected. There's professionals that won't do those things. So.
Exactly.
You guys, the confidence thing, I don't like to lie on it because I don't want it to be like almost like an observation bias, you know, or whatever Hawthorne bias. But that's the biggest reason for this thing. Like confidence isn't, to some extent, it's like fake. I guess that's why you have fake until you make it. But in its real sense, I think it's a function of feeling good about stuff.
There we
Like
go.
who you are, where you are, that you have a good opportunity, that you actually like, that you
Why we call it
can
the
look
too much fun
forward
bucket.
a little, you know. That's all a function of it.
I'm the type of guy who would do it.
Anyway.
Enjoy the ride.
If you would,
You got your district sign.
I don't think there's anything more interny you could do with your time than run a little workshop on making music with this thing. The eyeballs you have on it would be tremendous. And all you have to do is be already, because most people can't even operate the app. You know, they're gonna look like it's like Braille.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for music.
You got 15 minutes. You could have other people weigh in on samples. Would you like this sample? No, I don't like you. You know. I like your face. Anyway, I think you would.
Hi, Bart.
So we're gonna do a standing meeting here with these guys on Thursdays. I know you were out last time, but not here today, so.
But only 3/5 of you were standing at the moment. He said a standing. I guess he.
On that note, I gotta go.
I see why you two feel about the fun masters.
No, the best part about it is, a couple weeks ago he kept saying here, I was like, are you taking acid when you're not here? He kept being like, he's like, I am in between. He's like, the interspecies. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? You can't call you superintendent, but you're talking about being in between?
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Talk about consistency, damn it. Trying to know what to call you, superintendent.
That's the power of having an updated check every day.
You know, that consistency helps confidence too, guys. Frankly, because if you don't know what to expect, it can be hard to be confident, especially if that stuff is abusive stuff. Yeah, you know, we're in between. We're not any one thing. We are everything.
No, those are ours.
Yeah, I took only my stuff. Leave only footprints, guys, you know, while we're drawing from other people's shit. Alright, basketball players, nice job today, as always. I'll see you soon. Go get your vibes in order, whatever that means for you.
Thank you, Mike.
Good job, guys, thank you. That was very productive. I'm glad to see them get in on it. I'm sorry if I talked over them a little bit.
No, this is great. I think everybody got their thoughts in, and they knew if they.
You're watching me.
And we have a film crew here, so.
Oh, here we go.
See if we can engage our film crew to it.
Uh-oh,
You already got us gonging it on the weekend.
More incoming.
I hope we get to bang the gongs ourselves. You know, Derek. You know, Derek, how we like doing the hands-on segment with you, where you. Oh, your thing's cool, then let Derek do it. Let Derek get the gong. All right, I'll be back for that section.
What an outro.
Back up, Superintendent. You're in between me and my walkway.
Too much fun. Wait, well, these tables will be needed, maybe I can leave some stickies like right on the ledge there. Should we leave some stickies, like if anybody wanted to leave a sticky?
Yeah.
I'll just like, throw a couple bags over here and these